Hi, welcome to Cozy Living Liz. If you're new here, this is a houseplant channel where we talk about lots of houseplant stuff and we try and keep it cozy and definitely realistic. Come on in, let's get this video started. Today, I really wanted to talk about my 2026 plant goals and then also dabble in a little bit of my 2026 channel goals. Since I am such a new channel, I kind of wanted to go over a few things with you guys. But before we get into all of that, I want to talk about the plants we're going to repot today. I have two plants with me. One of them is a reverted variegated heteroecium. I have been propagating this plant for probably two months. Yeah, probably about 2 months on my propagation wall in my bathroom. And it is definitely ready to be potted up. Now I need to pot this up, I think, in a self-watering pot, but I don't have any of my smaller, like 3-inch watering pots anymore. There's not very many of these. One of them, there were actually 2 more cuttings. One of them was grabbed by my 2.5-year-old son, and he was very naughty with that, and he pulled it apart. And the second one was me, where I tried to take it out of the little propagation vessel, and it just, the newest leaf got caught and ripped off, and I don't think there's any more nodes left to it, so I just tossed that. Or do I still have that one? Actually, I might still have that one. I may have, yep, it's this one. So this, I think, is the only one with a bit of variegation on the stem. And of course, there will probably be no leaf coming off of this. I think it's just an empty node now. You can see, hopefully, the variegation on that stem. That was probably my last hope. I do have some just leafless node cuttings in my propagation box, but I don't know where they went or what happened to them. It's just kind of a jumble in there, so I don't know if they will come alive again. So we'll see about that. But in the meantime, I'm not expecting any variegation from this. This was a rescue that I rescued and then needed rescuing from me again. So I'm not expecting any variegation basically to pop up on this. So that's okay. That's okay. That is on my 2026 plant wish list, actually. A true variegated heteroecium. I would love that. I would. But anyway, like I said, I want to be repotting this into a small self-watering, since these were water propagations and I don't trust myself to keep up with watering otherwise. But the only 2 available vessels I have right here are bigger than I would like to use. So we are going to do a little repot with this Syngonium Thai pink, I think. I feel like it almost might be a little bit reverted, because I think it's supposed to look different than that. But I mean, look at all those roots. It's time for that one. So we're going to do that, and then we'll swap that out, give that one of these. And then my other one that I'm going to do a repot is my Philodendron Splendid. And this mostly did good up on my propagation wall. There is one right here where a leaf rotted. I'm not quite sure what happened there, so I don't know if I'll get another leaf from that or what's going to happen with this one. But you can see the new leaf is kind of icky on that one. But this one is ready to be repotted. And it was starting to get a little bit of root rot. I think I just wasn't able to keep up on topping off water. So we're going to also repot that. where do I want to get started? First of all, let me know how your guys' 2026 has been going. Mine so far has been, I'm basically sick around every corner, and it's kind of driving me insane, including today, actually. I keep sneezing and sniffling, and I will try and keep as much of that out of this video as possible so you guys don't have to deal with that, but it's not been very fun for me to deal with. So I have my mint tea today. It is chilly in here, although surprisingly, I think probably with all the sun that I'm getting coming in here, I'm actually warmed up a little bit. I think maybe I just really needed a cup of tea. I do actually feel a lot better after this cup of tea. I mean, it's like the perfect temperature where it's nice and warm. But anyway, let's get into this. Okay, so I would like to start off with my first goal is to buy less and focus on my plant growth more of the plants that I already have. I would like to have some bigger plants. I have a, how do we put this together? Here we go. I have a Billy ATA that is up on top of my IKEA cabinet that I'm very proud of. I actually got it back, I don't know, it was back when Billy ATAs were still pretty rare. But it was a tissue culture because somebody gave it to me. I had ordered plants from their shop, and they were really late with the shipping. And so as a sorry, your plants are super late, they gave me this Billy ATA tissue culture plant, which had already been acclimated and everything. So it was just a very small plant. And it is now this giant thing, and it's beautiful. I love it. And I've got a couple of other large plants. My Ring of Fire, which was also a tissue culture that I bought while it was like still in utero, like still in the tissue culture media. And I have grown that up since it was, just this little itty bitty baby. And oh, there goes the heater. Forgot to turn it off. Anyway, I grew this Ring of Fire from this teeny tiny little plant when, again, the Ring of Fires were still rare at the time. And it just makes me so happy looking at these beautiful plants that I grew that are big. Another example I have is my Hoya Crimson Queen. It's quite big, actually. I don't know, maybe it needs a repot. It could be a little bit bigger, to be honest. But I don't know, just looking at them makes me feel so good. And at this day and age, it is really easy to get distracted and to go, oh, what is next? Most beautiful, newest, rare plant, And I don't really want to be like that. I also can't afford to be like that. I'm going to move my laptop over here so I can get my soil. So that is my first big goal of 2026, is to not be such a consumerist and to enjoy the plants that I have and love on the ones that I have already so that I can grow them a little bit bigger and better. I think I could probably pour some of this in here. Hopefully. Oh my goodness. Oh, will these work? Oh no, you know what? These roots have gone through. Oh, I don't know if I can save those ones. These roots have gone through this rope right here. Actually, that came out. Let me see. Oh, let me get that out of the way. Can you see okay? Don't want plant water in my tea either. All right, let me see if I can do this. Look at all these noodly roots. Oh, here we go. We've got one more that is sort of stuck in here. And then I think I'll be able to pull the plant out. I'm kind of expecting my philodendron heteroecium, my heartleaf, to grow quickly like this one did. Uh-oh. Can I not get it out? Why is it still stuck? Hopefully that one does not get stuck like this does. But I just don't want to start it off in a bigger one. I did consider it. Then I remembered this one really needed to be repotted. Gosh, I might have to break some of these. Wow. Oh no. Oh, that is too bad. I wasn't able to get all of these ones out. They'll grow back, but that's kind of a bummer. And I'm going to need to take some soil out of here. I might even need to take some more out. Maybe I can kind of spread this out a little bit. To be fair, Syngonian roots are a little crazy, or they can be a little bit crazy. Wow. Okay. I just need the roots to spread out a teeny little bit. There we go. That is probably my healthiest Syngonium I've ever had, though, because I've gotten other ones and they just don't. Oh, you know what? That's a lie. I've got my tricolor. I am very proud of my tricolor. That was, I don't know, maybe had 3 leaves when I got it. And that has grown quite a bit. I am very, very proud to say that that one has worked out well in my collection. That did not start off as a tissue culture plant, though. I have found that sometimes with tissue culture, it can be very difficult to keep them growing because they need perfect conditions, and I can't always give plants perfect conditions. Like right now, it is winter and it is cold, and it's been really cold. It's beautiful outside, but cold, so cold. It was so windy yesterday. All right, that is 1 down, 2 to go, and I should quit rambling and talk about my other goals. I'm going to wash my hands, though, so I can touch my computer. All right, I did also rinse out the reservoir on this. All right, so let's talk about my second plant goal, and that is to find spots in my house for easy growing plants and spaces where they can make sure to thrive. I have to tread lightly with this one, simply because my husband is not a fan of houseplants everywhere in the house, which is why we have dedicated this room to me and my plants, which fair. I get that. I respect that. I think that having some houseplants in the main part of the house does contribute to a homey feel. So, like I said, I do have to tread lightly with this one, but I think that we can accomplish it. I have actually been inspired by a friend of mine who she has just these different golden pothos around her house, and they look lovely. She's got some other easy standard plants like Sansevieria, and I think that there is another one. She's got a really big fiddly fig, which I will not be getting one of those, but it's beautiful in their house. But I think that having some very easy to care for plants, just simple maintenance in easy spots to care for, are just look really good and make a house look really good too. So I've been inspired by her to do that. And she's not like into any rare plants or anything. So it's just these like golden pothos, and they look awesome. And I hope that I can kind of create the same vibe, because that's what I want. I just want like a nice, cozy, homey feeling when you come into my house. And when I come into my house to relax and whatnot after a day. And also, so this is a 1960s style, or built in the 1960s. It's got some mid-century modern elements to it. And one of them is a indoor planter that they have, where the top of it is marble, and then the bottom, the base of it, is wood paneling. And when I saw it at first, I absolutely loved it. However, I haven't been able to figure out what to put in it, for two reasons, basically. One of them is because it doesn't have an insert. So it's just metal on the inside. There's no like plastic covering or anything. And I don't want to put anything directly into this little basin area, this planter, because that would not be a good idea. It would not, I mean, I guess it would hold water for a little while, but it would probably rust out, and I don't want anything to do with any of that. So I need to find some kind of base to put in there. So my temporary solution for a little while was, I had some Tupperware in there, basically, and then I tried to put some plants in leca. And so I had the basin, like I had like some big pieces of Tupperware in there, and I was able to fill that up. And then it was like a self-watering situation, basically. But the plants that I put in there hated it, absolutely hated it. And I was not very good at upkeeping it. And then also my second issue is I have a 2.5-year-old, and I want to have some kind of situation that isn't interesting or that interesting for him, where he wants to pick up pieces of leca and put them in his mouth. So that ended up going away at some point, probably about a year ago, before he could really get up there and grab stuff. So I would like to find some kind of solution. First, I want to figure out maybe a different situation other than Tupperware and leca, because it turns out I don't like growing plants in leca, and they don't do well for me either. And second of all, I would like something that is a little bit more permanent than Tupperware, because if you actually looked at it, it was like, oh, that's not attractive. So I could put fake plants in there, but I don't think I can stomach that. So I have to put my thinking cap on again for that one and figure that out. And then, yeah, there's just the challenge of I have a child that will be curious about whatever plants I put down. So I did have a hanging plant situation, but it wasn't a good permanent setup. So I might try that again. I don't know. But that is the goal. I've got a year. I mean, got more than a year. I have time to think about that stuff. It doesn't have to get done right away. But that is one of my planty goals for this year, is to come up with some kind of solution that is happy for everybody and helps with the coziness, the cozy vibes of my home. Yeah, I think that's all I have to say about that. Let me see. This is a lot more difficult than I anticipated it to be, because the roots for this plant aren't that long yet. And I don't know. It'll be better, I think, when the soil is wet and weighed down a bit more. Here we go. Maybe one more scoop. Kind of weigh things down a little bit more. I think that we'll have to do. And then sometimes plants are just going to be ugly when you first repot them. It's not very cute. But, and actually one of the plants that I was thinking of doing that with is this one, because it's plain green. It'll do okay in low light. I've got to find like a good balance, you know, of low light, but not too low of light, because I don't like these vining plants. I really don't like when these vining plants get leggy. It's just not an attractive look. So we'll have to see. But this should be a pretty fast growing plant, so maybe I can take more cuttings in the summer and I can figure something out, and it could be a really beautiful hanging plant in the living room or whatnot. I've got a couple of plants that I want to bring back to my bedroom. I have a Sansevieria and my silver Sansevieria, I forget what it's called, and then my Raven ZZ that I want to bring back to the bedroom. But we've been so like in between with bedroom furniture that I don't know. I just didn't want to think about it. But all right, we've got this plant potted up. Let's move on to the next thing. My number 3. I don't have too many plant goals. I don't want to like overwhelm myself. I only have 2 more. The third one is to simplify my plant care routine. 2026 is going to be another year where I can't give my plants my all, just because I'm a working mom of a toddler, and you don't get to spend every waking time on your hobbies like I wish I could. So it's just like these little pockets of time that I'm able to find available, that I can sit down and do a video like this. So this year again, we have a lot of things happening that a lot of them are already set in motion. So it's even more imperative to make sure that the mundane plant chores that I do don't take too long to do, basically, that I don't overwhelm myself with plant chores, which is one of the reasons why, like, when I take cuttings, I don't always propagate them unless I'm specifically looking to make another plant or make a plant bushier. They're probably going in the compost. That's just the way it's going to be, because I can't, like, I literally can't. There's no time to nurture them, and they're going to end up dying anyway, and then it's just going to be disappointing and sad, you know? So self-watering pots, again, are going to be a big star of this year's repotting. I actually wish I could do less in self-watering pots because I miss using my prettier decorative pots, but here we are. I don't know. We'll do the best we can, or I'll try and think of solutions where I can use my decorative pots, but you know, maybe I put it underneath a bowl or something so that I can bottom water it a little bit easier, or I don't know, I'll think of things. But basically, if there's something that I can do to make plant care easier, then I'm going to do it. Whether that's like putting it in a terrarium. I've got one behind the camera there, and I've got my IKEA greenhouse. They're not technically terrariums, but they hold in moisture a little bit better than, you know, being out in the open. So that will definitely be a big thing for this year. I didn't even get restarted on potting anything. Tell you what, I need a new pair of shears this year, because these are really nice, but I need something like my old ones, which have, I think, officially fallen apart and should probably just get thrown out. So this is my Philodendron Splendid that I cut up quite a few months ago. but it wasn't doing well. So I put them on my propagation wall when I first got my propagation wall set up, and it started doing much better. And now it's kind of not doing very good again. I think it's just got, I mean, there's just some like rot issues going on with this. But I think if we just clean them up, you can kind of see like all that brown. If I just clean it up, I think it'll be fine. I think it just needs to have a little bit more consistency with watering. Because I was surprised at how quickly the water disappeared in my little vessels that I have. I guess I shouldn't be, but there's less moisture in that room than I thought there would be because it is a shower. And you know, that's supposed to be like the perfect spot. And it kind of is. And I actually want to take more cuttings, and I want to spread out some other cuttings that I took like a month and a half ago, because I put a bunch of cuttings on the top row, but I think that they need more space. So I'm going to give that to them. And then there's, putting it behind me, you can see it in this black ceramic container that is just doing not well. All right, what's next? It's my variegated lipstick plant, which I think that I might try and repurchase this year because that plant is really beautiful. Like, it put out a bloom for me a year and a half ago, and it was so beautiful. And I was so surprised, but I was really excited about it. And then it's just not done well ever since. And I think that it just needs more water than I can give it, especially in that bowl because it's kind of shallow. So I think that I need to repot that, probably also in a self-watering pot. Maybe this isn't completely dead after all. I don't know why it looked like it was dying. But then now that I've got all of the, I bet it was just the sheathing that was all gross and making it rot. But I think the actual leaf might be fine. Like, the actual growth point seems to be okay. It might not be a very pretty leaf, but I think it'll do. All right, what's next? So number 4 and my last one is take the time to style my plants. And this kind of goes with the rest of everything else that I was saying. Just to be more intentional, let my plants grow bigger, spend more time with the plants that I have. And then I think also just when you're intentional about styling them and you know like where they're going to go, that they're going to get more of that individualized attention, and they're going to spend, I don't know, you're going to just spend more time with that individual plant, making sure that it looks good, making sure that it feels good in that spot that it's in. And so I think that that's going to be a really important goal for me this year, is to actually style my plants. And I do try and do that already in general, but I think I want to be a little bit more intentional about doing that, and making sure that there's like good spacing between my plants. Anyway, I think it also makes a room feel better. Like, I mean, it's like what I was saying with wanting to be more intentional about putting plants in the rest of my home, that it makes it feel more cozy and more just intentional, really. And I think it makes it feel better. So that is my last goal. I think they kind of all go well together. So I'm excited about this year. Oops. I think that it will be lots of fun. I know I talk about not having duplicates, and this is currently my third philodendron splendid that I am now potting up. Yeah, I think this is my third one. I have a lot of cuttings of this. In the spring, we'll see how this does. But in the spring, I'm going to try and just pot them all up together and see how that turns out. Because they've got a smaller cup or like little planter of these. And it's kind of tempting to add it into this self-watering pot right now. I think I might do it. And then I would only have 2. And then honestly, I might just keep this and get rid of the other one because the other one is so leggy. Like it's already too tall for the plank that I gave it in my last video, which is silly. It just doesn't look good. What I was going to do is I was going to add more cuttings to that one. I don't know. This is being such a difficult plant for me. It's not even a difficult plant. Is this a splendid? Or is this the glorious? Hang on a minute. Because I've got both. This has fuzzy petioles though, and these don't. Ooh, maybe I don't add these in. This might be this is maybe not the plant I thought it was. Because this looks like it's got the varicosum fuzzies on the petioles right here. This one doesn't. Okay, so that's that. I'm not going to combine them just in case. This also looks a little bit different. I don't know. I need to stop taking so many cuttings. This is me not taking very many cuttings, which is silly. So anyway, that is it for my plant goals. I'm gonna keep it simple this year and just try and keep chugging along and try and grow some beautiful plants this year. So the next thing I wanted to talk about was my channel goals, and I will keep them pretty quick, I think. I've only got 3 of them. They're pretty basic. The first one I think is going to be pretty obvious, and that is to monetize my channel. If I could just make videos all day, I would. I love making videos about plants. I love making videos about styling them. I wish that I could just be here in the sunroom all day, but I can't because you have life things as an adult and I can't just do what I want. Unfortunately, I have to make money. So I'm hoping that at some point, the big goal for this channel is in the beginning to, once I get monetized, to help me pay for childcare for my son. So the first big goal for this year is to get monetized. And if you would like to help me out with that, the best thing that you can do that helps me the absolute most is watch my video all the way through so that YouTube knows that people genuinely like my content. And then the next thing would be to subscribe, because I need 1,000 subscribers and like 200,000 watch hours. I don't remember if I have that right, but I need a lot of watch hours and I need a lot of subscribers to get monetized. So if you have come across this and you like houseplant content, you like learning about styling your houseplants, give me a follow, give me a like, let me know what you think. That would truly mean a lot to me. Yeah, I swear, if I could just make videos all day, like I know what I would make videos about. I would do like 3 uploads and I would vlog about stuff, and there's so much stuff that I wish that I could talk about, but I just don't have the time for it. I can't justify it at this point in time because I don't get any money for this at the moment. Um, and it's not going to replace my full-time job at the moment. So I hope one day it does, because this is literally what I have my background in. I have a background in photography and I'm not using it. And there's so much stuff that I would like to do with my college degree. But it just wasn't feasible for me at the time that I needed to be able to do that. So anyway, here we are. That is goal number 1, get monetized. Goal number 2 for my channel is I would like to be as consistent as possible with my uploads. For now, I'm trying to do uploads every Wednesday. Now, during the holidays, I was not able to do that because basically getting sick, and the holidays got crazier than I ever intended them to be. So we saw a lot of people that we hadn't seen for a long time though, and we did a lot of things that we hadn't been able to do for a long time. So there's a lot of really good things, and also I needed the rest. But then I ended up getting sick, and then I haven't really stopped being sick. Yeah. But I'm doing this video today because I want to get back on track. I really, really, really want to get back on track. I had a good, I was having a really good run, and so I'm going to try and pick up that momentum again. You can bear with me with the break that I had. And then my last goal is something that will take probably many years, but who says it can't start this year, right? And that's to build a community. I would like to be a bigger part of the plant community. There's a lot of really cool people. There's a lot of people that I look up to in this community, and I would like to be a bigger part of that. And I would also like to have a community that is part of that, and where we have conversations and interesting conversations about plant stuff and the realities of taking care of plants, and just all of what that entails, and maybe even more. I don't know, who knows, but I would like to build a community. And that's it. That's I don't know where else to go from there. But if I'm able to help inspire somebody, just like so many people have been able to inspire me in this community, then I think that would be like a big dream come true for me. So anyway, I'm going to leave off with that. I have all my beautiful repots. I am very happy with how they turned out, even if they do all look a little bit wonky. But there we go. I hope the start of your 2026 is going well, or at the very least is comforting and cozy and planty. All right, I hope you all take care, and let me know how your 2026 is going in the comments. I would love to read about it and reply back. Bye-bye.